Hey guys, so this video today is something that's been a long 3 months, 4 months coming, and I'm gonna try to not drag this out. I'm gonna try to tell this in the best way I possibly can, and not make it too long. And before I even say anything, the situation I'm about to talk about, I am not saying location, I'm not saying names, I'm not saying where it was at, I'm not giving any information that could harm the people that were involved with it, but I am going to tell my side of the story, and I think that I deserve to be able to say what I need to say, and I'm honestly very nauseous right now. I'm very upset because I've been upset, and it's just a very difficult subject for me, so please bear with me. And a second thing is, I'm not doing this because I don't want people to feel bad for me, is what I'm trying to say. I'm doing this because I know there's probably so many people who've gone through this or are going through this, and I was one of them, and now I'm just looking at this in front of me, and there's probably things I could have done sooner or quicker, and I was scared and I didn't know what to do, and maybe this will help you, I'm hoping, but let me just explain what happened. So, I was working a job as a waitress, as you guys know, at a restaurant for almost a year, and that was a good job for me, and money and everything. But the first week that I started this job, which was about May of last year, something was just not right about it. As you guys know, I have short-term memory loss. Some of you guys may not know that, and it is a disability. It's something about myself that I don't like, but nobody would ever really point it out to me, pick at me for it, say anything to me about it. So I would try the best I can, to do best to my ability, what I can do, what I can remember. This job, when I first started it, I had the owner say to me, I am an effing retard, I'm effing stupid, did I even graduate high school because I'm so dumb? And this was on a constant basis every day of just harassment and just saying rude remarks to me about my memory and just how I am and things that I can't control about myself. This went on for about half a year. And then it got to the point where I had a coworker doing the same thing to me. And the part where it got very bad happened in March, over some text messages while I was working, which I actually have right in front of me. And I'm just going to briefly go through it. I'm not wording by word it, but the one was telling me that I didn't do my work, which I did the night before, and it told me to do my effing work, and I kind of just ignored it because I got to the point where I just ignored messages and different things. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And then I got a long text while I was working telling me to save the message along with all of the notes. There was also notes that were handwritten to me, cursing at me, saying that there's going to be hell to pay if I didn't do something. It would say to do my work in the first place, which I would always do my work, and that people were counting the days till I left, and then just a lot of side note stuff. And it said I just save the text because it's going to be the last time they ever talk to me, which I could care about. And I told them I couldn't text. And they were like, no shit, then why are you? And I said I was texting the boss. And I said there was no need for them to be cursing at me or yelling at me, because there wasn't. And, again, they just kept blowing my phone up, and I told them, I need to go. I'm working. I can't talk to you. And then they pretty much sent me text messages till at least 8 o'clock at night, just throughout the whole afternoon. And then I ended up blocking the other person I worked with on social media because I didn't want to have any more confrontation with them. And they told me, they were like, we have other people to watch what you do on social media, which was very confusing to me. That was in the beginning part of the week. And then this is kind of what happened when I went into work 2 days later, and I can read it to you guys. When I started my shift, I was indirectly being talked about by one of the people, saying that I was childish and everyone thinks I am because I blocked her on social media. Monday prior, I received text messages till the morning, which made me feel very uncomfortable about coming into work. As she continued to keep saying how terrible I was and that I can't take a joke, I tried my best to stay away from her. As I clocked out, our boss told us she was leaving, and I overheard her say it as I was taking care of my tables. And the one waitress kept coming up to me and just indirectly saying things to me and telling me that we were going to talk about what was said in the text messages, and I didn't want to talk to her at all. I wanted to get away from her. I didn't want to be near her. And once there was people still in the restaurant, she was yelling at me in a different room she followed me into, telling me that nobody wants me there, I'm a terrible waitress, I should just leave already, I shouldn't work there anymore, they're going to get me a replacement, just going on and on and on. And I pretty much ignored it because I was trying to do my job, you know, and I couldn't even do my job. I couldn't even take care of tables because my one table came up to me, they heard her yelling at me, and I think they felt very uncomfortable, and they said they left her check and tip on the table and left. Pretty much when everybody was gone, we only had people in our one room, she took me into the other room a second time, followed me in there, pretty much told me just repetitively the same things again, like we're going to find somebody else, you shouldn't work here, nobody likes you, you should just leave, just leave. And usually when my boss wasn't there, she would kind of be like the manager, somebody who was in charge that we kind of took orders from. And I went into our main room and I was setting stuff up and just trying to, again, ignore this situation. Oh, she also told me that all I do is lie and I'm a liar. And I told her no, she's the one who was lying about me. And then she said, if we weren't at work right now, I'd hit you. And then again they said, why don't you just leave? And then I pretty much was like, I'm sick of this, I'm done. And I said, I'm just done. I'm sick of you harassing me and threatening me, and I'm not putting it up with it anymore. And I decided to stick up for myself because this was just ridiculous. I didn't want to do this anymore. And once somebody tells me that they're going to hit me in the face, that just draws the line. You can say F you, you can curse at me, but when you come at me physically and say you're going to hurt me, that's when I don't feel safe and I don't feel comfortable and I'm leaving. And I clocked out and I left and I was in tears. I was upset and I walked a couple blocks down and called for a ride, and then I called my boss and I left him a voicemail and I told him exactly what happened and I left a text message. So I left, I went to the police station and I filed a police report against the person. I told the police what happened. And after that, the next morning, I got calls asking why I wasn't in work. They pretty much blamed me for not, my boss said for me not coming into work, that they're so busy now and that like they have to pick up on all my slack. When obviously, why would I go back into a place where somebody's telling me and threatening me that they're going to hit me in the face and cursing at me every day? It just didn't seem right. Also, if I filed a police report, they even said this text messages and communication had to stop between both of us. And the same day that this happened, the police went there and told them that text messages and contact needs to stop. So why would you be asking why I didn't come into work? When I went to court over this, I pretty much wasn't allowed to say anything. In my court case, every time I would go to speak my side of the story and say something, my boss interrupted me. But when my boss went to tell their side of the story, I kept my mouth shut. I didn't say anything. Even though I knew what they were saying was wrong and they were lying about me and not telling the truth, I didn't say anything. The person who did our court case, my boss was allowed to talk about things that weren't even topic. that weren't even on topic, how they didn't have any money and they didn't have money to do this or that or get a lawyer. But it was funny because I wasn't allowed to tell my side of the story, how for 3 months now I've been struggling to look for a job. I haven't been able to pay my bills. I have bills stacked up that I haven't even touched it. I've lost my health insurance, and as some of you guys know, I do have some serious health conditions. So I can't go to the doctors to get checked, to even get physically checked. You know, it got me thinking too, how many people are there in this world that actually get harassed at their job, who stay there and who just put up with it? Pretty much I'm doing this because I don't have money for lawyer bills and to appeal. I don't have any money to pay a lawyer or to go back. All my college money, all my birthday money on bills, everything I have is gone. And I don't know what to do. Pretty much that day at work, I was told to leave and I was told to go, and I did what I was told. I got punished for doing what I was told pretty much, and now I'm just stuck in a situation where I can't even support myself. If you're going through anything like this, or threatened at work, put down, harassed, you don't need to go through it. I mean, I wish I could tell you just leave your job, but as you could see, for some reason, in the state of Pennsylvania, that doesn't really matter because no one's going to be on your side. I appealed it once and I didn't get it, and I can't appeal for a second time, but literally I don't have the money for it. I don't even have the money to pay my bills now. I don't have the money for anything. I'm still paying the lawyer. I made a GoFundMe. I didn't want to do this. I really, like, literally 3 months now I've been going through this, and I haven't told anybody, and it's linked down below. If you could just share this video, share the GoFundMe, I'd very greatly appreciate it. So this video was very, very hard for me to make and talk about because nobody's made me feel this way about my disability, my learning disability, ever in my life. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I feel like I'm being punished for having a learning disability through what my boss did to me for calling me names. I feel like I'm being punished for something I can't control. And I know I shouldn't feel like that, but that's just how I feel. And it's something that really does bother me every day. If you'd even just be able to share the GoFundMe link, I greatly appreciate that, and share this video, because if you're being harassed or threatened at work, even sexually harassed, don't put up with it. You're there to work and make money for yourself and make a living and support yourself, not to put up with other people's bullshit and have them put you down and make you feel like shit to the point where they push you out of your job, because that's what happened to me. And I just want to feel okay again. I just want to feel financially okay, that I'm not worrying, because I don't like this feeling of worrying. And I just don't want to go through it anymore. And you know, I do forgive them for what they said to me. I forgive them because you must have a lot of problems with yourself if you're going to say something like that to me and put me down and make me feel like this big. Because maybe I do forget things. Maybe I do have short-term memory loss. I do have problems remembering things. But at least I tried, and at least I did what I could, and okay, so thank you for watching, and I just feel so nauseous. Okay, I need to go now. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say.